Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. One second. Hmm. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritcham Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktar Bhavati Nashtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mhm. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 18. Lord Balarama slays the demon Pralambha. Shri Sukha Uvacha Atha Krishna Parivritto Gnadibhin Muditatmabhihi Anugiyamano Nyavishad Vrajam Gokulam Manditam. Shukadeva Goswami said, surrounded by his blissful companions who constantly chanted his glories, Sri Krishna then entered the village of Vraja, which was decorated with herbs of cows. व्रजे विक्रीडतोर एवं गोपालच्छद्ममायया ग्रीष्मो नामर्तुरभवन् नातिप्रेयान् शरीरिणाम्. While Krishna and Balaram were thus enjoying life in Vrindavan in the guise of ordinary cowherd boys, the summer season gradually appeared. This season is not very pleasing to embodied souls. स च वृन्दावनगुणैर्वसन्त इव लक्षितः यत्रास्ते भगवान् साक्षात् रामेण स केशवः. Nevertheless, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was personally staying in Vrindavan along with Balarama, summer manifested the qualities of spring. Such are the features of the land of Vrindavana. यत्त निर्झर निर्ह्राद निवृत्तस्वन झिल्लिकं सस्वत्तच्चिकरर्जिष द्रुममण्डलमण्डितम्. In Vrindavana, the loud sound of water In Vrindavan, the loud sound of waterfalls covered the cricket's noise, and clusters of trees constantly moistened by spray from those waterfalls beautified the entire area. Sarit sarah prasravanormivayuna kahlara kanjotpala renuharina na vidyate yatra vanokasam dava nidagavahni arka bhavoti sadvale. The wind wafting over the waves of the lakes and flowing rivers carried away the pollen of many varieties of lotuses and water lilies and then cooled the entire Vrindavana area. Thus, the residents there did not suffer from the heat generated by the blazing summer sun and seasonal forest fires. Indeed, Vrindavana was abundant with fresh green grass. अघाततोय हृदि तोटोर्मिभिर्द्रवत्पुरी स्यात् पुलिनैः समन्ततः न यत्र चण्डां सुकरा विशोल्भना भवो रसं साध्वलितं न गृह्णते. With their flowing waves, the deep rivers drenched their banks. making them damp and muddy. Thus, the rays of the sun, which were as fierce as poison, could not evaporate the earth's sap or parch its green grass. वनं कुसुमितं श्रीमान् नदचित्रमृगद्विजं गायन्मयूर भ्रमरं कूजत्कोकिलसारसम्. Flowers beautifully decorated the forest of Vrindavan, and many varieties of animals and birds filled it with sound. The peacocks and bees sang, and the cuckoos and cranes cooed. क्रीडिष्यमानस्तत्कृष्णो भगवान् बलसंयुतः वेणुं विरण्ययन् गोपैर्गोधनैः संवृतो विसत्. Intending to engage in pastimes, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, accompanied by Lord Balarama and surrounded by the cowhead boys and cows, entered the forest of Vrindavan as he played his flute. प्रवालबर्हस्तकबा स्निग्धातु कृतभूषणैः राम कृष्णदयो गोपा ननृतुर्युयुधुर्जगुः, decorating themselves with newly grown leaves along with peacock feathers, garlands, clusters of flowers, buds, and colored minerals. Balarama and Krishna and their cowherd friends danced, wrestled, and sang. कृष्णस्य नृत्यतः केचित् जगु केचित् अवादनयन् वेणु पाणितलैः शृङ्गैः प्रशंसुर अथा परे. As Krishna danced, some of the boys accompanied him by singing and others by playing flute, hand cymbals, and buffalo horns, while still others praised his dancing. गोपजाति प्रतिच्छन्न देवा गोपालरूपिणयो ईडिरे कृष्णरामौ च नटा इव नटं नृपम्. O king, demigods disguised themselves as members of the cowherd community, and just as dramatic dancers praise another dancer, worshipped Krishna and Balarama, who were also appearing as cowherd boys. भ्रमणैर्लङ्घनैक्षेपैर् आस्फोटन आस्फोटनविकर्षणैः चिक्रीडतुर्नियुद्धेन काकापक्षधरौ क्वचित्. Krishna and Balaram played with their cowherd boys by whirling about, leaping, hurling, slapping, and fighting. Sometimes Krishna and Balaram would pull the hair on a boy's heads. क्वचित् नृत्यत्सु चान्येषु गायकौ वादकौ स्वयं शशंसतुर्महाराज साधु साध्व iti vadinau. While the other boys were dancing, O Krishna, O King, Krishna and Balram would sometimes accompany them with song and instrumental music, and sometimes the two lords would praise the boys, saying, very good, very good. क्वचिद् बिल्वै क्वचित् कुम्भै क्वचामलक मुष्टिभिः अस्पृश्य नेत्रबन्धाद्यै क्वचिन्मृग खगेहया. Sometimes the cowherd boys who would play with bilva or kumbha fruits, and sometimes with handfuls of amalaka fruits. At other times they would play the games of trying to touch one another, or of trying to identify somebody while one is blindfolded, and sometimes they would imitate animals and birds. क्वचिच्च दर्दूरप्लावैर्विविधैरुपहासकैः कदाचित् सन्ध्योलिकायां कर्हिचिन्नृपचेष्टया. They would sometimes jump around like frogs, sometimes play various jokes, sometimes ride in swings, and sometimes imitate monarchs. एवं तौ लोकसिद्धाभिः क्रीडाभिः चेरतुर्वने नद्याद्रिद्रोणिकुञ्जेषु काननेषु सरःषु च. In this way, Krishna and Brahma played all sorts of well-known games as they wandered among the rivers, hills, valleys, bushes, trees, and lakes of Vrindavana. पशुंश्चारयतोर्गोपै तद्वने रामकृष्णयोः गोपरूपी प्रलम्भोगाद् असुरस्तद्जिहीर्षया. While Rama and Krishna and their cowherd friends were thus tending the cows in the Vrindavan forest, the demon Pralamba entered their midst. He has assumed the form of a cowherd boy with the intention of kidnapping Krishna and Balaram. Tam vidvan api dasarho Bhagavan sarvadarshanah anvamodata tat sakhyam vadham tasya vichintayan. Since the Supreme Lord Krishna, who has appeared in the Dasharha dynasty, sees everything, he understood who the demon was. Still, the Lord pretended to accept the demon as a friend while at the same time seriously considering how to kill him. तत्रोपायूय तत्रोपाहूय गोपालान् कृष्ण प्राह विहारवेत् हे गोपा विहरिष्यामो द्वन्द्वी भूय यथा यथम. Krishna, who knows all the sports and games, then called together the cowhead boys and spoke as follows. Hey, cowhead boys, let's play now. We'll divide ourselves into two even teams. Tatra Chakru Parivriddho Goparama Janardano Krishna Sangatinaya Kechid Asan Ramasya Chapare. The cowherd boys chose Krishna and Balaram as the leaders of the two parties. Some of the boys were on Krishna's side and others joined Balarama. आचेरुर्विविधा क्रीडा वाह्यवाहकलक्षणाः यत्रारोहन्ति जेतारो वहन्ति च पराजिताः. The boys played various games involving carriers and passengers. In these games, the winners would climb up on the backs of the losers who would have to carry them. वहन्तो वाह्यमानश्च चारयन्तश्च गोधनं बाण्ढीरकं नाम वटं जग्मुः कृष्ण पुरोगमाः. Thus carrying and being carried by one another and at the same time tending the cows, the boys followed Krishna to a banyan tree known as Bandiraka. रामसङ्घट्टिनो य हे श्रीदामा वृषभादयः क्रीडायां जैनस्तांस्तान् ऊहुः कृष्णादयो नृप. My dear King Parikshit, when Sridama, Rishabha and other members of Lord Balaram's party were victorious in these games, Krishna and his followers had to carry them. उवाह कृष्णो भगवान् श्रीदामानं पराजितः वृषभं भद्रसेनस्तु प्रलम्बो रोहिणी सुतं. Defeated, the Supreme Lord Krishna carried Sridama, Bhadrasena carried Vrishabha, and Pralamba carried Balarama, the son of Rohini. Avisahyam manyamanaha Krishna Danava Pungavaha Vahan Dutataram Pragad Avarohan Nataha Param. Considering Lord Krishna invincible, that foremost demon Pralamba quickly carried Balarama far beyond the spot where he was supposed to put his passenger down. तमुद्वहन् धरणिधरेन्द्रगौरवं महासुरविगतरयो निजं वपुः स आसति स आस्थितः पुरट परिच्छदो बभौ तडिद्युमान् उडुप्यति वाड इवाम्बुदः. As the great demon carried Balarama, the Lord became as heavy as massive mountain Sumeru and Pralamba had to slow down. He then resumed his actual form, an effulgent body that was covered with golden ornaments and then resembled a cloud flashing with lightning and carrying the moon. निरीक्ष्य तद्वपुर अलम अम्बरे चरत प्रदीप्तदृग्भ्रो कुटि तटोग्र धंष्ट्रकं ज्वलाचिक्रं कटकः किरीटकुण्डल द्विषाद्भुतं हलधर ईषद् अत्रसत्. When Lord Balarama, who carries the plow weapon, saw the gigantic body of the demon as he moved swiftly in the sky with his blazing eyes, fiery hair, terrible teeth reaching toward his scowling brows, and an amazing effulgence generated by his armlets, crown, and earrings, the Lord seemed to become a little frightened. अथागतस्मृतिरभयो नृपुं बलो विहाय सार्थम् इव हरन्तम् आत्मनः वृषाहनश्चिरसि दृढेन मुष्टिना सुरादीपो गिरिम् इव वज्रसंहसा. Remembering the actual situation, the fearless Balarama understood that the demon was trying to kidnap him and take him away from his companions. The Lord then became furious and struck the demon's head with his hard fist, just as Indra, the king of demigods, strikes a mountain with his thunderbolt weapon. Sa ahas स आहतः सपदि विशीर्णमत्सको मुखाद्वन्मन् वमनरुदितरम् अपस्मृतोऽसुरः महारवं व्यसुर अपतत् समीरयन् गिरेर्यथा मघवत् आयुधाहतः. Thus, smashed by Balaram's fist, Pralambha's head immediately cracked open. The demon vomited blood from his mouth and lost all consciousness, and then with a great noise he fell lifeless on the ground like a mountain devastated by Indra. दृष्ट्वा प्रलम्बं निहितं बलेन बलशालिना गोपासु विस्मिता आसन् साधु साध्व इति वादिनः. The cowherd boys were most astonished to see how the powerful Baralama had killed the demon Pralamba, and they exclaimed, "Excellent, excellent!" आशिषो विगृह्णन्तस्तं प्रशसं सुस्तदर्हणं प्रेत्यागतम् इवालिङ्ग्य प्रेम विह्वलचेतसः. They offered Balarama profuse benedictions and then glorified him, who deserves all glorification. Their mind overwhelmed with ecstatic love, they embraced him as if he had come back from the dead. पापे प्रलम्बे निहते देवा परमनिवृताः अभ्यवर्षन् बलं माल्यैः सं सशंसु साधु साध्व इति. The sinful Pralamba having been killed, the demigods fell extremely happy, and they showered flower garlands upon Lord Balarama and praised the excellence of his deed. Thus ends this chapter. Balaram slays the demon Pralamba, chapter 18 from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. As I said yesterday, this is very, very important chapter. Why? Because there is so much. It was not just that Krishna and Balaram, along with his cowherd boys, were playing. It also has this part where there was some treachery or cheating that was planned upon Krishna and Balaram by Kamsa. Kamsa sent Pralambhasura, and when Pralambhasura came, he disguised himself as one of the cowherd boys. Of course, one may play tricks, one may try to hmm, hide identity. One may try to do that, but they cannot stand in front of the Lord. This is what happens here when Krishna immediately understood, okay. Then what Krishna did was he played in the line, in the play of the plans of Pralamba. He didn't just straight away chastised and killed. He would in fact do that, but instead, yeah, this was also nice that let's cheat him the way that he's cheating in disguise. So Krishna and Balaram, or Krishna was not um, mm, acting immediately. In fact, there is a very nice, let me see, it's called Govinda Mangala, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, there's a very nice from Dukhi Das, yeah, who became Sukhi. He wrote a nice poem, and Dukhi Shyam Das. It goes like this: Vrindavane Krida Kare Brahmanda Thakura Achambite Mile Asi Pralambha Asura. It says about the Lord of the universe was performing his pastimes in Vrindavan when suddenly the demon Pralambha arrived. Mane Mane Mahasura Karaye Vichara Ki Rupe Vidibha Aji Nandera Kumara. So, in this way, the demon was thinking this very day he would kill who? Nandera Kumara. He would like to kill the sons of Nanda, the son of Nanda. Sishu Sange Taki Ami Shishu Rupa Dhari Pashe Fele Nipatiba Kamsera Ba Iri. So in this way, he said, I will adopt the form of a boy and enter into their group, and then I will get the opportunity to kill Kamsa's enemies. Huh? कामरूपी असुर अनेक माया जाने शिशु रूप धरी मिले बालक संधाने. That demon could assume many different forms according to his desire, and he immediately took the form of a small boy and joined the group. So Pralamba Asura, Asuras have this power to change forms. Yeah? And here Pralamba Asura took this form. He was thinking, what is the best form? Let me take the form of a boy. And that too like a cowhead boy. Asurera Maya Krishna Jalnina Janila Antare Ushat Hasiya Krishna Aruna Adhare. So whoever loses the game, this is the deal. What is the deal? Oh, no, sorry. Internally, understanding the illusion of that asura, uh, a slight smile appeared on Krishna's lips. Nikate dakila Krishna yatha shishugane sabare balila Krishna madhura vachane. And then now Krishna is speaking in sweet words. He said, Rama Krishna pashe haila balakera mela ha hasya balila Krishna kheliba eka khela. Let's play one game. What is that game? All the boys then gathered around Balaram and Krishna smiled and said, now we will play a wonderful game. Yudi Yudi Ha Iba Yateka Shishuganya Mallayuddha Prakashiba Dui Dui Jana. All of you boys should divide into pairs and wrestle with each other. ये जान हारिबे खेले खंडे करी निभ बांगीरा विपिन वट निकटे राखिब. And then after this, whoever loses the game will have to put the winner on his shoulder and carry him to Bandiravat. And of course, this goes further. Iha suni bala bala bale shishugana yudi yudi haila malla yuddhera karana. And after that, they divided, and then Sri Krishna, and of course, Sri Krishna, Sridhama Sange Subala Sudama, Pralamba Asura Sange Prabhu Balarama. Now, all this is happening. So, the demon Pralamba paired up with Prabhu Balaram. Vasu Sange Stota Krishna Sabahu Arjune Jayavana Varuna Sahita Duijane. So, Vasu was paired with Stota Krishna and Subahu with Arjuna and Jayavana with Varuna. Suna Parikshita Raja Krishnera Kathana. So here saying, oh Krishna Parikshit, listen. Sridama Harila Krishna Mayara Karana. So Krishna accepted defeat from Sridama, and so Sridama for possible establishing Maya. And I'll go to the next important part. So Subal defeated Sudama in wrestling. The loser had to carry the winner on to the banyan tree at this Bandiravat. Next comes Balarama Harila se Pralamba Asura Kande Kari Yaya Daitya Mayara Prachura. And Balaram defeated the demon Pralamba Asura. Whom then began carrying Balaram on his shoulder. Wait a second. Defeated by the Pralambasura. Balarame Kandhe Kari Chalila Satvare Yei Rupe Diba Laya Kamsa Barabare. While he was carrying Balaram, Pralamba was thinking, I will carry him to Kamsa. Nahe Madhyapate Laye Nipatiba Vane Eta Bali Chale Daitya Tvarita Gamane. But what happened meanwhile when he was trying to take Balaram to Kamsa, to Mathura, on the way, he started feeling heaviness. He was thinking that this, or I will carry him to the forest and I'll kill him there. These were the ideas that he was thinking. But Balram recognized Asurera Maya Jani Deva Sankarshana Achala Mandara Bhara Haila Tatakshana. So now Lord Balram made himself too heavy to carry. Vishnu Shakti Bharadaitya Sahite Na Pare. So the Vishnu Shakti, which is so heavy to carry, so Daitya, this Asura, could not carry. Achadit Achadiya Feli Yena Bhume Padi Mare. Then what happened? And then, unable to bear the weight of Vishnu Shakti, the demon decided to throw Balaram on the ground to kill him. ಏತ ಚಿಂತಿ ಬಲರಾಮೆ ಫೇಲೈತಿ ಛಾಯ ದುಯಿ ಗುಣ ಭಾರ ಹೈತ ಹೈಲ ಬಲದೇವರಾಯ thinking this way, he tried to drop Balram, but Balram then he became twice as heavy. Nijamurti dhare daitya mayayara putali Neelambare Shobha Anga Kare Jalamali. Hmm. So then the demon then returned to his original form. Now he became, and then he was looking all beautiful. He had an effulgent blue body and an ornamented with earrings, beautiful crown, ankle bells, arm bands, and was wearing reddish garments. Hena Murti Dekhi Baladeva Mahashaya Asura Bhabiva Hela Bhavila Hridaya. When Balaram Mahashaya saw him in this feature, he thought to himself, I will kill this demon now. Ati Krodambita, Mati Rohini Nandana, Mushti Ekatara Munde Karila Ghatana. And just with his fist, he punched the demon in the head. Vijragata Haya Hena Pure Digantara Pralambhera Mundha Paise Pethera Bithara. So what happened inside? The punch was so powerful like a thunderbolt. When it struck Pralamba, it pushed his head into his belly. Anyway, so when the body of Pralamba Sura hit the ground, it extended for 8 miles after killing the demon, Balram returned to the boys. Dekhiya, Vishmaya, Yatra, Vraja, Shishugana, Dhanya, Dhanya, Balarame, Bale, Sarvajana. Everyone were praising. Astonished to see this, all the boys began sing the glories of Balarama. Rama, Krishna, Kola Kuli, Kharila Kanane, Sishu Sange Krida Kare Yamuna Puline. So and then Rama and Krishna began to play with the boys on the bank of Yamuna. Krida Banga Dina Shesha Hai Ile Vanane Gokula Chalila Krishna Balaka Sandhane. At the day ended, as they ended, Krishna started for Gokul with his friends. गोदान महिषमेष दिल चालये गोकुल प्रवेश हैल वेणु बाजाय. So in the end, Dukhi Shamadas kahe Hari Nama Sara Govinda Charana Vina Gati Nahi Ar. So Dukhi Sham Das he is saying that Harinam is the essence. Other than the lotus feet of Govinda, there is no other goal. So this is very nice. In this we can understand the glories of the same pastime from this great poet and a great devotee. And what does it mean is, it is said, the Acharyas say, Pralambhasura was not just an ordinary demon. If we see Pralambhasura is representing something in us, what is that? It is the cheating propensity. It is said, Pralambhasura, he came to kill Krishna and Balaram. For what? For position. Uh, Greed. He had greed because he was thinking, okay, this pleases my Lord Kamsa, so let me satisfy him. So there is this, what do you call this, nature, this anarthas in us, the greed. Greed is such a dangerous anartha, and attachment to this we can see Pralambhasura is representing that. And then it's also mentioned that Pralambhasura represents the interest of in the opposite sex, and removing the desire for illicit sex and attachment to Pralambhasura. uh, One should read this pastime because we can understand that Lord doesn't tolerate if someone has these propensities. And in fact, lust is another thing, kama, hmm, uh, Madha, yeah, this is the things. And Pralambhasura, he came in disguise. He wanted to cheat. Huh? Sometimes his philosophy enters amongst Vaishnavas in the form of Pralambhasura to spread anarthas, in the form of stealing the self. So here, this is the 12th obstacle in Vaishnava's signs of love. It is mentioned in the book that there are these anarthas. One should be very careful. One should be careful not to cheat. It is said if one deeply discusses, uh, sometimes we may think that what we understood is right, and we may start thinking here what Pralambasura did. He took the side of Krishna. Yeah, one wants to become Krishna, and then when the time comes, they want to sit on Guru, and then they want to even take the role of Guru. So it is said that Pralambahasura was representing, that's why who could not tolerate? Krishna was saying, okay, let's wait. But as soon as Balaram felt, okay, this is Pralamba who is coming in disguise, that was a boy, he didn't tolerate it. He immediately hit straight with his fist, that his head went even so deep that it went to the belly, Pralambasura's belly. So this is the pastime which says Balram then brought his is glorified by Krishna in this way because Balaram has is the Adi Sankarshana, Adi Guru. Mm. And in front of him such kind of false uh, representation doesn't stand. So this also means we should seek blessings, or we should seek offer our humble prayers to Balaram to seek his blessings, so that may we always be vigilant and be protected from the interest for the opposite sex, for greed, for lust, to be free from all these things, and also be protected under a guide, under a guru, under what do you call, bona fide guru. Yeah. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you. Yeah, any questions or thoughts before we close? No? Then, yeah, thank you very much for joining. Tomorrow we continue this week. This is the last weekend, the fourth weekend of the Kartik month in 2025. We will cover Krishna killing Kamsa, yeah, chapter 44, I think, tomorrow at 7:30, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, 7:30 in the morning. Okay. Thank you very much. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हाय गौर प्रेमानंद। हरे कृष्ण।